Hey guys, as we enter this series between India and England, I thought we'll just go through perhaps maybe three players from this Indian side who I think are going to have a major influence on the series, on how India go about attacking England, and what is a very important test series in the context of things in regards to the World Test Championship final. So it's a very important test series. Now, India, we all know they've had an amazing tour of Australia with great success, but that is now behind them. That is in the past. So they need to be looking to the future. Now, I've got a few players here and some very familiar names that we all know, but I'm going to talk about how I believe they're going to be a huge influence on this series. And the first player I just want to go over is Ashwin. Now, he didn't play that last test up at the Gabba, even though he got a nice invitation from Tim Payne. He wasn't there, but for me, this guy is an underrated cricketer. His stats are phenomenal. Hey, Ashwin's played 74 test matches with the bat. He's an all-rounder. He's got 4 test hundreds, averages 27.71. With the ball, 377 test wickets and 74 tests is phenomenal, and a bowling average of 25.5. So those numbers alone speak volumes of the cricketer that he is. He is a leader within this team as well. Now, how I think he is going to have a major influence in the series is that England players tend to struggle against spin when they go to the subcontinent. Yes, they've had a warm-up tour in Sri Lanka, but I think with Ashwin's experience and the variety that he has, this is going to be the pressure point for England. Even if they get partnerships going, Ashwin's going to be the man who's going to be able to come in and break those partnerships. And he's also the type of bowler who can get wickets back to back. So just his presence alone within that bowling group is going to be huge because as the bowling group, the bowling groups, if you really think about it, they're the ones who get 20 wickets who actually win the test match for the side. Yes, the batters put the runs up on the board, but it's the bowling group that cements that the test win. And I think Ashwin is one of those players that's going to have a big influence. Now, another player is, I think, going to have a major factor in the series, and he actually hasn't played a lot in India, staggering enough, is Bumrah. Now, just the 17 test matches, 79 test wickets, average 21.5 as well. Now, why I say Bumrah is that, yes, he has pace. He's also a bowler that England have not seen a lot of. Yes, a little bit in white ball cricket, but not a huge amount in test cricket. Now, Joe Root, those guys, the experienced guys, I think will be able to come up with strategies to be able to counteract Bumrah. But it's the rest of the guys in that batting lineup who have inexperience, the Popes, the Sibleys, and the likes of this world, the Dan Lawrence. Those are the types of guys who I feel may struggle against someone like Bumrah because he is a little bit unusual in his bowling technique. He is fast, he bowls good pace, he swings the new ball, and the aspect of his bowling I think is really going to come into play is the reverse swing. We didn't see a lot of that in Australia, but with the nature of the subcontinental wickets and the wickets in India, with the abrasive surface and the abrasiveness of the cricket blocks as well, I think reverse swing is going to play a big part in the series. And in my opinion, Bumrah is one of the best reverse swing bowlers in the world with his pace, with his unorthodox fast action. I think he might wreak havoc on some of these players in this English lineup. So he's the second player who I think is going to have a major influence on the series. So we've got Ashwin, Bumrah so far, and my third player, well, he's a standout and very experienced cricketer, Virat Kohli, the skipper, 27 hundreds in Test cricket, an average tick over 53. Now, why I say Virat Kohli is I think he's going to want to make a statement in this series. Yes, he only played the first Test over in Australia where India got hammered down in Adelaide and never really took no part. And I think he would have felt immensely left out of that series when he went home for the birth of his child. And I think he really wants to make a statement in this series and score some big hundreds. You see, 2-3 years ago, they talked about the big four in batting, Joe Root, Kane Williamson, Virat Kohli, and Steve Smith. Now, those players have been scoring a lot of runs. Joe Root had a very successful tour of Sri Lanka. Kane Williamson, the number one ranked Test player in the world. He's been scoring 50s and 100s with a lot of ease. And Steve Smith obviously played very well in Sydney and also got some good starts in the 100 there. So Virat certainly will think he is better than all those players. Now, Virat, I think over the last 12 to 15 months, probably hasn't been that prolific when it comes to scoring runs in Test cricket, whereas the motivation of captaining this team, this Indian side in this series, making a statement as leader, as skipper, and making a statement with the bat, I feel Virat Kohli is in for a big series. So there are lots of other very good players in this Indian group, not just this team, but in the whole group, who are all going to play their part at some stage in this series. But I certainly feel those three players, and Ashwin, Bumrah, and Virat Kohli, are going to have a major bearing on the outcome of this series.